Yo, Rocco B Scotty G. It's Monday, January 22nd, 2024, and it's time for Pro Football Uncensored. This is Naked Bootleg.
This is a bootleg. Then he comes right back with another bootleg.
I'm Rocco B, the longest reigning professional wrestling heavyweight champion of all time in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, I said it. And Scotty boy, we got the stud muffin of all stud muffins in the lovely Toms River, New Jersey. Scotty G. How we doing, Scotty?
How you doing?
Oh, baby.
We had a good week. What a weekend of football, I'll tell you that.
Unbelievable. I mean, we got 4 games. The whole weekend didn't disappoint. I mean, you had Houston,
we had
Baltimore.
three and a half good, exceptional games of football. The second half of the Ravens game got a little out of hand, but the other 3 games and the first half of the Ravens game was unbelievable.
Yeah. Now,
unbelievable.
If you had to pick off the top of your head right now,
yep,
best game of the weekend right now.
I mean, I would say probably the Niners game.
Okay.
Just because I was invested in it and it was kind of a back and forth and I really didn't know who was going to win.
Yeah.
But that Bills Chiefs game comes in a close second.
Oh.
But I got to go with the Niners.
What a game. What a weekend, like I said, but what an unbelievable, and as you see me wearing my Barry Sanders jersey, unbelievable atmosphere.
Is that a Barry Sanders? It looks like a powder blue fucking Chargers jersey down there.
Unbelievable.
Okay. You had like an LT jersey on or something.
Not yet. Listen, Detroit, this is like, you want to talk about mind blow of all mind blows, all right? Detroit, Scotty, the fucking Lions.
Yeah, it's impressive, dude.
Have gone to an NFC championship game before the Dallas Cowboys in my lifetime. Can you tell me that? Like, how that's possible? Like, with me being an unbelievably focused fan, watching every play, paying attention to everything, you're going to tell me that as an adult, I have to watch the lowly Detroit Lions go to an NFC championship game before my fucking Cowboys do? I mean, I don't know what to do.
They're a good team, man. They're a good team.
Well, Dan Campbell is biting off kneecaps. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I mean, dude, he's insane, but he's getting the job done. I can't be mad at him. He's doing his thing.
I think that Detroit has got a shot, and we'll talk about it later.
Hey, real quick though, I probably should have looked this up, but I probably should have looked this up. But this their first NFC Championship appearance ever?
First since '91.
So they've been there once.
Yeah,
I can't imagine more than once. Just once, right?
I believe it's just once, and it was in '91. So
Barry Sanders.
Barry Sanders, yes. And they figured it was just like Marino. It was like, oh well, you lose the championship game, you figure you're going to be back. He never got back. So.
I should have known that because I watched that Bye Bye Barry special. Yeah. I don't know if you got a chance to watch it.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I disagree. I literally went in not knowing shit about why he retired, about really not knowing what was going on. I came out of it not knowing shit why he retired, not know. The only thing I learned from the whole thing was that the dumbass, I guess, GM of the Lions apparently was considering bringing in Montana, and they pulled like the Tampa Bay Brady situation. Well, I shouldn't say Tampa Bay. I guess the rest of the league situation where everyone said Brady was too old, and then Tampa Bay brought him in, where like Tampa Bay was the Kansas City at that time. But that's the only thing I learned. Outside of that, I didn't learn anything from Bye Bye Barry.
Well, what Barry basically confirmed in the documentary was the fact that it really was just the fact that he was burnt out and done. Everybody thought it was the coach. Everybody thought it was the fact that they didn't have a quarterback. It was that fact that, the Lions were going to get even worse and worse and worse, and you wanted to play for a winner. The fact that he just didn't feel like he could run and be like Barry Sanders anymore was why he fucking retired. I thought you would have loved it because Eminem was all over the
I did love Eminem in there. I did love Eminem in there. I didn't like the fact that he just seemed like he never liked really football that much.
He loved football. It was just the fact of he didn't love being he wasn't going to be like he would have never lasted in the NFL now with the
What?
you got to do social media, you got to do all
Oh,
these
yeah,
interviews.
he didn't like talking to
He didn't
anybody.
like that, right? And
Very
that's
quiet.
so and that's kind of how Tomlinson was too. He played, you hand the ball to the ref after you score, you kind of keep it all together in the locker room, and
He wore
you're
the
not
visor, like he didn't even want anyone to see his face.
yeah, like he was
Tomlinson.
very, very conscious of all that. But to me, I mean, even though I'm, an Emmett fan through and through, I mean, I still think he's the best running back of all time.
Emmett's probably the opposite of Barry Sanders.
Oh yeah.
Not skill set. I mean, personality wise.
Yeah. Emmett loved talking, letting you know how good he was. But shit, I mean, he was. But and the fact that Emmett lasted as long as he did, that was it's phenomenal. But if Barry Sanders played as long as Emmett did, he probably would have doubled him in fucking yards.
Oh yeah.
All right. So listen, let's just get started, man. Let's roll out and you get kicked off with the first game of the weekend. Unless you got something that's
what was it? Oh, Houston,
first
Baltimore.
game was Houston and Baltimore. Yeah. So
okay, what's your quick thoughts on that, and I'll go my way.
Well, honestly,
Baltimore.
You like that? Sound like a bird. Baltimore. Honestly, I mean, it was closer to me than I thought it should have been, and honestly, I wasn't shocked that CJ Stroud got owned by Mike McDonald again, who was the defensive coordinator at Michigan. And I'll tell you, I'm going to ask you a question at the end of this conversation about this game that I'm really excited to see your response. But we're getting close to the anointment of Lamar Jackson. So he's got a couple games left, but I'm gonna get into that in a little while. But what did you think?
I thought it was a good game. I thought Baltimore was going to handle Houston, but at the same time, I wasn't shocked that Houston came out the way they did. I think it's safe to say that these teams coming off the bye, it's like I got to remember this for next year. And I thought about it, but I kind of just I didn't want to touch it. And Saturday, by the way, I was at a Devils game. I went with my father, my brother-in-law, and my nephew Brady, and we had a fantastic time. But the Devils got the shit kicked out of them, 6-2, but no big deal.
Yeah, that was what the Dallas game.
Yeah,
Dallas.
So I literally, because we were getting our ass kicked, I watched the entire game basically on my phone. So I'm like literally like this, and there's another goal from Dallas.
There's another Stars goal. Yeah.
No, Jack Hughes didn't play. We had the fucking backup quarterback, backup goalie playing. So I've had better hockey days, but it was nice with Brady there and everything like that. But watching the whole game from my phone, so I was kind of timid on some of my betting because I was like a little nervous that I wasn't going to be, I don't know. For me, if I'm not fully invested in the game, I'm like, I'm not putting all my money into this. But what I should have done is bet that the Houston was going to cover the first half, because I think it's safe to say all these teams coming off the bye, they come with some rust. I think that's a real thing. I honestly, I don't know. I don't have any stats in front of me. I don't have any information or research done in front of me, but just off of my memory, I would say I can count on one hand the teams that came off a bye that look like they didn't miss a fucking beat. I think a lot of these teams come out slow. And when we get to the Niners game, I think it was the same thing for the Niners. But I wasn't shocked on the first half. Second half, I think it kind of played out the way we thought it was going to play out. I think my final thoughts on the whole thing is Lamar, as I know we're going to talk about in a bit, could be for real for the future. And I think CJ Stroud's got a very bright future ahead of him, because he has nothing to be ashamed about for this season. It was an incredible season. I was happy to see the way he played and performed.
Okay. Now, before I ask you the big question, let's just talk real quick with the Texans. You got a rookie coach.
I feel like you're a hater on all these young guys.
No,
you don't like CJ Stroud, do you?
I got to see more. Let me see more from CJ Stroud. But
I'm with you on that. Like I'm the king of not anointing anyone too early. I waited 3 years to anoint fucking Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like I can tell you right now, Bryce Young ain't coming back. So Bryce Young is going to be in the Josh Rosen category.
I'm not ready to do that.
But I'm not putting CJ Stroud there, of course not. But I'm also not putting him in this, Jordan Love fucking Hall of Fame bullshit, where we'll talk about that later too. But you got DeMeco Ryans, rookie head coach. fantastic job with that roster.
I agree.
They won what, like 4 games the past 2 years, and now they win the fucking division. Fantastic. They get a great draft with Will Anderson.
Weak ass division though.
And weak ass division, right? Because now Jacksonville's fugazi. So you go with that. You get Stingley last year when everyone said, "What the fuck you doing with Stingley last year?" They got a young nucleus. They're going to be there. They're probably going to own this division for the next couple of years.
And I got to look at the draft to see when they got Nico Collins and when they got Tank Dell, but they got young receivers that I don't think anyone expected to do much that look like they could be future stars in this league.
Tank Dell was 3rd round this year, and Nico Collins was, I believe, 3 years ago out of Michigan. I think he was like in the 3rd or 4th round. So they've upped their ante. And I'll tell you, they're going to be fine. But let's get to the question of the Baltimore Ravens. You know how much I love John Harbaugh. You know how much I love what he does with the 27,000 injuries that they have every year.
Yeah.
Here's the question I'm going to pop up on the screen for you.
He's a great head coach.
If LaMarvelous wins a Super Bowl.
LaMarvelous. Oh, that's pretty clever.
And he wins his 2nd MVP. Are you ready to anoint him? Because now he's going to have to go through Mahomes.
No.
Are you ready to anoint him the best in the game right now?
No.
And why not?
Why are you ready to anoint him the best?
Well,
give me that.
If this guy, number one, I'm telling you, I mean, the strides that he's made since he's come out of Louisville and then now on to Baltimore as the last pick of the 1st round.
He's an exceptional quarterback at this point.
As Ozzie Newsome's parting gift to Baltimore. The fact that he's come this way, the guy just got paid. He just did the most unthinkable thing in the world. He goes in the offseason with no fucking agent. He's representing himself and him and his mother, basically, trying to get a bunch of money that he knows he deserves. Right?
Props to him for doing that.
Right? And he did it, right? But he did it in a team-friendly way, too. It wasn't like he tried to say, I want to completely set the market on fire like Deshaun Watson did, with the guaranteed money. But this guy, the props that I can give to this dude is that he is now not going in the tank. He went reverse. Everyone generally who gets paid, it doesn't have the season that they had the year of their contract year. It's just, it's a human nature thing, right? He's fucking unbelievable. He's better than his first MVP to me. And Baltimore still got a ton of injuries. They still haven't escaped the injury bug, and he's making them look unbeatable to me. They
don't have that many. They don't have that many injuries this year.
They
do not.
Dobbins, Mitchell, Mark Andrews.
They got running backs and a tight end. Look, they have a million running backs, but yes, running back and one of the best tight ends in the league. I think Andrews is a big loss, but he's still a tight end.
I know. At the end of games, they're missing Marlon Humphrey, their best corner. Their safeties. They're coming in every game. There's some linebacker who's out.
Are they or are they not a top 5 defense from what your eyes tell you?
This year, yes, absolutely.
Are they or are they not a top, let's say, 10 offensive line in the league?
Their offensive line is very good. Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Do they have some weapons this year that he hasn't had in past years?
Finally.
Now, they're not great weapons. I don't think. I mean, Zay Flowers is good.
Yeah.
Bateman's mediocre. Odell, you get like little smidgets of old Odell, and then the rest is kind of shit.
I agree.
Andrews is great, but he's been missing the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Or for a while now.
This all sounds like, again, just imagine
if
he was with.
Yes,
studs,
you have to have a good team. I'm not taking it away from him because he has a good team. I get it. But
if he think about it, right? Do you think this is a question. How do you think he matches up, or the Ravens match up with what the Chiefs have? Wouldn't you say they're fairly similar with what they have? Good old line.
The Ravens are better than the Chiefs right now.
I mean, I don't know if you can say that. I mean, I think they're pretty
100%.
similar. They're pretty similar to me. And
the weapons are better.
If he beats Mahomes and he goes to the Super Bowl and
he's got to beat the Niners if they're there.
And that's right. He already crushed the Niners. So it's like, if he beats the Niners twice and then he beats Mahomes to get there, to me, it's like, who you
Let
taking
me
over him right now?
let me put this in context for everybody that's listening and for yourself. I am never ever going to anoint someone to be even probably even top 3 quarterback in the league if I think he's a better runner than thrower. I just won't.
Okay.
Until I'm proven otherwise. It's never happened in the NFL where a guy who is literally a better runner than thrower. And don't tell me Steve Young. Steve Young threw the ball great. Don't tell me Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's the greatest deep ball thrower probably in history.
Yeah.
So it's never happened. And I don't want to go back to Frank Tarkenton. Like, it's a different league. I don't even know if they were throwing the ball when he was playing.
Yeah.
So in the modern day, Vic couldn't do it. Cam Newton couldn't do it. Tebow couldn't do it. Yep. Colin Kaepernick couldn't do it. The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
And this is my issue partly with Josh Allen, who I think's a better thrower than Lamar Jackson. Don't get me wrong. And Josh Allen we'll get into him, but I think he might be just enough of a good thrower to get it done. I don't think Lamar's there yet. Lamar still throws some shit throws. And a lot of these guys, like a Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, their success on the pass game is usually predicated on the fact that people are afraid they're going to run. You're afraid they're going to run. You get off your guy, and all of a sudden the guy's wide open. And it's a throw me or you can make.
But it's you also have to still
I take that into consideration.
Yeah. I mean, Randall Cunningham and RG3 and all these guys that you can, Marcus Mariota, all these dudes that came out. Oh my God, look at the
RG3 threw the ball great though. So I don't even put him in that category.
He could, but he had to stay healthy. But here's the thing. We've always said with Lamar, it's like you got to prove it to us now. Like, prove that you can throw the ball. And
if he makes it to the Super Bowl,
that's what I'm saying. If he wins it, and then he's going to win the MVP.
And they either, he's already going to win the MVP.
Yeah,
he deserves the MVP.
Yeah.
If they win it, or if they don't lose because of him, like if he does enough, and I don't mean like the Bills game where, I mean, Josh Allen did enough, but I don't mean, like, to me, he's got to throw for 200 yards or have an unbelievable, like, rush game. Like, he's got to do enough to win. And if the defense just can't hold whoever they're playing, I will change my opinion. But I got to see it this year. I got to see it.
And I'm just saying, if we see that, I'm ready. I'm telling you right now. And I never, would ever fucking imagine that I'm saying.
Which I guess I'm rereading your question. I guess it's if he wins the Super Bowl and second MVP. I guess yes.
I'm glad.
Then I would reconsider. Yeah. But I still got Mahomes in front of him. He'd only move up to 2.
I don't. I would say if again,
the guy played 6 straight NFC or AFC championship games.
I get it, but I'm saying right now, heading into the 2025 season. If you're ranking quarterbacks, if Lamar does that and he proves to me after getting paid,
but if you're Rocco, if you're in your prime, your legacy matters. If you're, in like, I got to still see what Aaron Rodgers is, but in 2 years, if Aaron Rodgers is still playing and he can't throw the ball 10 yards, his legacy doesn't matter. You're not the best quarterback in the league. But if you're in your prime
right now,
your legacy comes into play.
Yes, but I mean, think of and again, we got to get off to I want to go to the next game, but here's the thing: it's like LeBron, right? LeBron is LeBron in 2024, right? He ain't the best in the game right now. You can't say it anymore. You probably didn't have to. You couldn't say it 3 years ago.
He's not in his prime.
I'm just saying they're both in their prime, Mahomes and Lamar. So I can say,
I know, and Mahomes has the legacy.
He does, but I think it's like in a race. They're racing. Lamar wasn't even fucking 3rd or 4th place. And Mahomes was easily in 1st. And he's just fucking jogging in front of everybody. Hey, how you doing? I'm Mahomes. I'm fucking in the lead. And then boom, here comes Lamar after this season. 2nd MVP, Super Bowl. It's got to go through Mahomes and potentially the San Fran 49ers twice. The vaunted team we all thought was going to win the chip from fucking day one. And he does it. I'm sorry. I mean, Burrow, you fell off again this year with your injury. Justin Herbert, sayonara. You might not even be in the top 10 anymore. Dak Prescott, give me a fucking break. Jalen Hurts, you fell off the bench. Who else? I mean, who else you want to say other than Mahomes? I mean, Josh Allen's a great player, but he's not there yet. So I'm taking him in front of Mahomes because if Mahomes is the best, if you're talking the best, if you're the LeBron of 2012 or whatever, you're going to beat Lamar this weekend. But if you don't, it's Lamar's chance to be the best. That's all I'm saying.
My opinion is Lamar gets it done like completely. He moved to 2 in my book.
Okay. All right. All right, baby. Let's get to your second favorite team, baby, the San Francisco 49ers. They crushed
hell of
the
a game.
Packers. Wait a minute. No, they didn't. Oh, my God. The Packers had the lead the whole fucking game. It was unreal. You're watching
the Niners easily could have lost this game. It was scary watch.
You're watching it, and I'm like, okay. Brock Purdy's got a glove on, number one. I said, what the fuck's going on
Brock
here?
Purdy looked like dog shit.
Okay. And then I'm like, holy shit, it just opened up. It was starting to pour in Santa Clara when we're watching this fucking game. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. It's a wrinkle that now you can think of, okay, well, maybe, the team that runs the ball is going to be better off. But then I'm like, oh my God, what am I talking about? Fucking San Fran runs the ball better than anybody else. Where was it? Shanahan put the ball in Purdy's hands more. It was like they were losing 14-0 from the get-go. It was like they got away from the run game, and it was all on Purdy. And you can tell he was not comfortable throwing a ball. What do you think of like the first half of that game? What was going through your mind?
I thought they were rusty. I thought the rain bothered me the way Purdy looked. He looked nervous, man. He didn't look right.
He didn't like the rain.
Well, not only did he not like the rain, what bothered me is not only was he off target, it looked like even when he was on target, he was like beaming it at guys that were like 5 yards away. And to me, that was like a sign of like, oh my God, like let me get rid of this ball. Like it showed me like this. He didn't seem. And look, I'm a huge Brock Purdy fan. I think he is gonna be a guy. Maybe even at the end of the season, he's a guy. I think right now he's a very good quarterback and a very bright future, but he didn't look ready for that moment. Now, to fast forward to the end, the reason I like Purdy is exactly what happened. And did he come up with a 60-yard bomb and thread a needle? No, but he didn't make mistakes. And the reason why the greats are the greats is because in football, the key is you execute and you let the other team beat itself. You don't beat yourself. And that's what he did on that last drive when they needed it most. So the fact that he got it done when they needed it most, I mean, he's back being on my good graces, but I'm going to tell you what, I was nervous going through that game. And there was some shit they were going through. And honestly, if Jordan Love isn't, Brett Favre 2.0, the Packers probably win that game.
Well, you also got to think too. I mean, and it's been all year. The Packers they draft Anders Carlson, right? So he's the brother of Daniel Carlson, who's got a fucking golden leg for the Vegas Raiders. And they draft this kid, and he's a rookie, so he's had some growing pains this year. This kid, I mean, you can't feel comfortable. They asked LaFleur, they said, what do you do when, Carlson goes out to go kick a field goal? He goes, oh, we just pray. Like, is that what you want with your kicker? I got to pray this guy's going to make a fucking kick? I mean, like, so he missed a kick, right? He shanks one, and he's been shanking extra points and field goals all year. But
Shanahan's doing what I do with pong balls. He's every time he hands the football to him.
It's unreal that you got to do that with a kicker. It's like if you have that kicker, okay, and you're praying, you might want to start working out some other guys. But so you get to the second half, and again, it's like Purdy looks a little bit more comfortable. Kittle drops a ball in the second half that would have been an easy first down, but
he should have caught that ball. But again, that was one of those balls that it should have been an easy lob to Kittle. There was no one around him. He threw 100 miles an hour at him.
And so you get to the end, and it's like, all right, well, Green Bay can't cash in. Love, we're going to get to Love in a second, but Love couldn't cash in when it mattered. And the big thing that they did last week against Dallas was cash in when they were in the red zone. and they got 2 field goals to start that game. And then now they, in Dallas, they had 2 touchdowns. So whole different ball game, whole new ball game with how Green Bay played against San Fran compared to Dallas. But when we get to the second half, Love couldn't cash in, and you got the Niners finally, the last drive to go up 24-21. Finally, Purdy, he like you said, he was matriculating the ball down the field. He was working the way that Shanahan wants him to work the offense. They gave the ball to fucking McCaffrey finally, let him ride a little bit, and then he gashes it in the end zone for the lead. And the last drive, a minute left, some time management fucking issues, if you remember, at the end with the non-call and the timeouts and all that. And they only had a minute left to go down the field, get a field goal. I would say, Scotty, half the league, I would say, quarterback-wise, I would feel comfortable given a minute and 9 seconds, from the 25-yard line to go get me a field goal. And Jordan Love couldn't do it. And not only could he not do it, but this guy has green grass in front of him. He can go run for at least 10, 15 yards, but he decides to throw the ball across his body in the rain.
I'm telling you,
last-ditch effort, and throws a pick to end the game.
I have no inside source to tell me this, but I guarantee you, after all the mishaps and trouble that San Fran has given the Northern Cali boy, Aaron Rodgers, the second he threw that pick, Rodgers did. He went like this.
Yeah. Yep. And then he dipped a little ayahuasca in it as well. Yeah, it was hello. I
guarantee you, dude.
I think you're right.
Do you know what Aaron Rodgers was probably thinking that down that drive? Oh shit, he's gonna do what I never could.
Yep.
That's literally Aaron Rodgers' Achilles heel, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm.
I got two quick takes on that. On the
2 watches, Rocco.
I know you got a hot take on your boy Jordan, but I got a hot take on Niners, and I got 2 things to say.
Okay.
One, my first watch, Shanahan, I know he broke that record of 0-31 or the fuck it was.
Yeah,
being down in the fourth quarter and coming back, which was great to see.
Huge.
But this guy cannot, on the 49ers, I'm not speaking to any other team right now. I'm talking about the 49ers. This guy cannot call plays when Debo's not in the lineup. I'm not making this shit up. Go watch his play calling the set before Debo goes out, after Debo goes out. Go look at the 3 games of loss when Debo wasn't there. Now, I think Trent Williams was a bigger factor in those 3 losses, but I'm telling you, his play calling is trash without Debo. It's like he's got some fucking obsession with Debo Samuel.
Well, I don't understand it. I mean, he did it with Atlanta. Like, he literally blew that Super Bowl with the play calling that he called. And
but
he's so
Debo wasn't on that team.
He's so pass happy though. Like, I don't understand it. Like, run the fucking football.
That's what I'm saying. With Debo there, he does way more of like the misdirection and way more of the running and the jet sweeps and everything. Second thing, and this is my my second watch, and this is my hot take that I haven't heard anyone say yet, and I might have some people tell me I'm out of my fucking tits.
Hot take alert.
Steve Wilks sucks as a defensive coordinator.
Okay, so you're echoing the same sentiment of the Arizona Cardinals. You're not a big Steve Wilks fan.
He's dog shit. Listen, you watch that game.
Dog shit.
Do you know he played, first off, he played conservative defense for 3 quarters of that game. The reason he did was because his corners were getting carved up on the outside, which I've been saying all year. That's their weakness. I don't know why no one's attacking it, but they're getting carved up.
Real nice.
Dude, yeah, getting real nice. If you're getting carved up like that, wouldn't you think to switch something up? This guy blitzed the 4th quarter, and he blitzed 1 or 2 times throughout the game. He should have started blitzing much earlier. You have a guy, basically he's a rookie in the league, and he throws off his back foot, and he throws, Brett Favre throws all the time. Do you know what happened on that last play where he threw it across the shoulder? Guess what? They blitzed. This kid probably would have threw 3 or 4 picks. The other play where what's his name? Greenlaw.
Yeah.
Greenlaw got both picks. Both times the Niners brought pressure. Both times they blitzed.
Yeah.
They should have been blitzing him the whole second fucking half. They didn't start. They did it. They sprinkled it. They should have been doing it way more. Steve Wilkes is a dumb shit, dude. He's done this before. He blew it in the Minnesota game. I don't like his play calling on defense. And I know people, and I think it gets overlooked because of how good the Niners are. Dude, his play calling, I think is trash.
Well, guess what? Now we're going to have to really delve into this week because, I mean, I said the same thing about Todd Bowles in Tampa Bay. I said, if you look at Jared Goff, 100 passer rating when he's not blitzed, 60 passer rating when he's blitzed. What did Tampa Bay not do? They didn't blitz. I don't know why they didn't. Guess who's coming to town next week, Scotty? To San Francisco.
Yeah.
Fucking Jared Goff. So, if they're going to win, they got to blitz. And if Debo's not playing, they better blitz fucking 70% of the time because Jared Goff's going to carve them up real nice.
I'm going to wait till later. I'm going to wait till later on in the week to give my pick on that and everything on the spreads.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Jared Goff, 2 playoff wins for the Detroit Lions. I'm really proud of you. I appreciate what he did for the city. I got a lot of love for Detroit because they remind me of the New York Jets, the bad fucking squad.
Oh no, don't give it away. Don't.
But this doesn't mean Lions are going to win or lose. What has Jared Goff not done in these 2 playoff games that he's been accustomed to doing quite often?
You're waiting for that turnover. You're waiting for the turnover.
Hasn't happened yet. Happened yet. Yeah. I think the worst thing that could have happened to him is they didn't have 1 pick so far these first 2 games. Dude, he might unload some load boost on these guys.
All right. Well, I need to ask you a question that involves Detroit and San Francisco. But before we do that, I'm going to unload, if you will, on Jordan Love. I just, what I see from this guy, I see a very, very, very laissez-faire attitude, which is good, for a quarterback, to be kind of like,
laissez-faire. I like as a good.
You like
word.
that? I'm not thinking of the last play or whatever, but
good
he has
phrase.
Very fucking laissez-faire, fucking form with everything that he does. Okay. His dropbacks are very, what seems to be lazy and lackadaisical. He doesn't hold the football with 2 hands. He's rolling out and he's just like, he's putting the football down in one hand by his ass cheeks. Okay. It's like, dude, what are you doing? And then the other thing that gets me, and I looked into it, we talked about as far as, him at Utah State. I'm thinking this dude is like a dual threat guy.
I was shocked by this too.
He's not a runner. He ran for like 300 yards in 3 seasons at Utah State, and he's not a runner now. And you'd think that the way that he acts out of the pocket, ball down by his balls, 1 hand on it, he's fucking just like, he's just sitting there, then all of a sudden he's going to do a little fadeaway.
He has a Mahomes-esque look
a little
when he's in the pocket.
Yeah, but it looks more like,
and maybe
it looks like Favre.
Could just be the curly hair, but he reminds me
a little bit. You're right.
Of Mahomes.
It's the lanky body. He doesn't
like
really have.
It seems like he makes him and Mahomes, and I'm positive that it's not every play, but Mahomes and Jordan Love, when I watch them play, it feels like every single goddamn play is off script. It seems like they didn't plan for this one, but I'm pretty positive a lot of them are, at least for Kansas City. I think a lot of it is planned, but just the way they move in the pocket and outside of the pocket, it feels like they're like, shit, where do we go now?
The way he throws it, it seems like it's not just a 3-step and bang off the 3rd step, it's gone, or off the 5th step, it's off. Like, it's like, even if it is his 5th step, he still likes to, like, it's weird. It's just a very herky-jerky motion with that kid. That's going to get him in trouble when he's playing a defense that actually gets off the bus and not the Dallas Cowboys.
He's going to be fun to watch, though, I'll tell you that.
But it is. I think he's going to be a fantastic fantasy quarterback. I think he's going to give you stats. I think he's going to give you holy shit moments and all that. Just like Favre did.
A couple picks.
He's going to give you a lot of picks. He's going to give you a lot of disappointment when it matters, because the fucking fundamentals, when it comes down to it, is what you need to do. Look at New England. Look at all these teams that have won over the course of time. It's all about detail and fundamentals. But let's get into the question I wanted to ask you. Do your thoughts of Brocky Boy, Mr. Purdy, change if he loses to the Detroit Lions?
So depends on how they lose. So if they lose because of Brock Purdy, yeah, I think they change a little bit. Because you got to get this game done.
You know, I mean, unless you're thinking 36-35 fucking shootout, you got to think that Purdy doesn't play up to snuff if they lose. You got to.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Listen, if Purdy goes for 260 and 2 tutties and no interceptions, and
if Detroit still wins,
McCaffrey gets 1, and they got 21. Let's say they lose 31-24. I mean,
it's amazing. That'd be amazing. That'd be the defense's fault. I mean, I get
exactly.
You.
And be honest with you, the way we saw Jordan Love carve him up, is it that shocking to think that a top 3 defense, last year's number 1 defense, the top 3 offense, and last year's number 1 offense could maybe go in and just run, roughshod on these guys?
I'm with you, but
possible.
But you got Detroit, who has like one of the worst pass defenses I've ever seen. So if Purdy can't beat them,
yes, I'm going to think differently.
Right?
I'm going to think differently. Okay. Let me one up that question.
Okay.
If Niners lose to Detroit, I don't care how it is. I don't care if it's the whole team plays the greatest game ever and they lose on a last second Jared Goff drive. If they lose, do we call for wholesale changes at the 49ers office? Because I'm gonna say also what's not being said is this team is so good on paper and in the salary cap room.
Yeah.
Like literally 7. I did it with you the other day. It's like 7 or 8 positions they have a top 3 fucking player at. If they don't get at least to the Super Bowl for the 3rd year in a row, I almost feel like, and as crazy as it is to say, and I know Shanahan just got a extension last year, but I mean, this has got to be one of the biggest upsets if you don't get there. You're healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, without Debo, if your team is set where if you lose one guy outside of the quarterback's a different story. Yeah. If you lose a guy, a wide receiver, a corner, a lineman, like if your whole thing falls apart because of one guy outside of the quarterback, that's not really an excuse. Everyone's losing somebody.
Oh, I agree. I mean, look at Harbaugh. Look at Harbaugh. Look at a bunch of these coaches.
Bro, look at the Bills. The Bills lost everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Now, here's what you got to figure out. You got Brock Purdy, right? It seems like they're in love with this kid. Even if he throws 4 picks. If he throws 4 picks against Detroit and implodes, you think they're going to go somewhere else next year?
No. Let me rephrase my answer. I would think differently as how great he is right now or how ready he is right now, but there is no way in hell do you deviate from the plan right for the next 3 to 4 years. You go all in on Brock Purdy. And if he can't get it done, basically if he can't get it done in the next 2 years, and I mean get it done as in show he's a reliable quarterback for the next 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I think he's already done enough to at least get one contract. But if he can't do what he's been doing the next 2 years, then maybe it's a conversation. But regardless of how this game goes, Brock Purdy's your quarterback for the next 3 years, in my opinion. You can't get off him.
Yeah, at least for the next 2. Yeah, for the next 2 full seasons. Yes, I mean,
yes,
because he's you're going to get him for that cheap. It's just the problem is it's like, does he turn into? Is he Brad Johnson? Like, or is he? You know what I mean? Like, you gotta figure out, like, is this the guy that's only doing it? He's only doing it because of the team, and then, like, again, I'm talking about if he implodes, right? If he implodes, then we got to have this conversation.
Yes, but if he
plays an okay game and they still lose, like, he's still got to.
Rocco, we having this conversation after one implosion. You got Dak Prescott. You got plenty of guys that have had seasons of implosion.
I know, but you can move off though and not lose anything. You're not paying him anything. He's a 7th round pick. Wasn't supposed to do shit. You can move off if you want to, because again, you just said it.
Who do you go get? Russ?
I'm just saying you gotta. You just said, like, you're only losing 1 or 2 guys, right? It's like, say Debo and Hufanga, right? Like, they're not available. Okay, well, you're not getting rid of the coach. You're not getting rid of the GM.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
I would think the coach can't get over the hump. That's where I would go.
I agree.
I don't think there's gonna be any
Oh, the
changes no matter what
Chargers
happens.
fucking fired. The Chargers fired Schottenheimer after 14-2.
I know.
So it's
That's
like,
what I'm
it
saying.
could happen. It could happen, right? I get you.
But you got to understand that the Chargers had a good team. The Chargers, this is literally the best team on paper.
I agree.
Like hands down. Not even close.
I agree. But it's their pick. It was Lynch's and Shanahan's pick for Brock. So it's like
I don't
fall, or do they just say we're just going to go get somebody else? I don't know.
You already did this with Garoppolo. You already moved on from Garoppolo. You're going to move on again? You got to give the guy's already had 2 good seasons. He's already won multiple playoff games.
Didn't finish the championship because he got hurt.
How many playoff games does Brock Purdy have?
What did he do? He won.
How many playoff wins does he have?
He had 2. Yeah,
2 or 3.
2, right?
He won this year.
One last year.
He won last year.
One this year.
Was it only 1 last year, or was it 2 last year? I know he beat Seattle.
It was 1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he's got
2. He's got 2 wins, right? He's got just as many as Dak Prescott has.
Thank you. That's where I was going. I was going to say, how long's he been in the league, and then how long Dak Prescott been in the league?
But you also could say put Dak Prescott on the 49ers. Maybe a whole different story. He might have more than 2. Right?
Dallas Cowboys have a pretty good roster as well.
I'm with you.
How many playoff wins does Kirk Cousins have? He's got a pretty damn good roster as well.
I'm in agreement with you. You keep Purdy because of the payment. You don't pay him now, though. Like, this is going to be his 3rd year coming up in 25. You can't pay him. You can't, because especially if he implodes. But if the guy wins a Super Bowl, go pay him. That's fine. But you can't, if they do not win the Super Bowl, and especially if they lose to Detroit, you can't pay him. It's as simple as that. Because again, I don't think that Jed York is going to fucking get rid of John Lynch and or Kyle Shanahan. It's just not going to happen.
I would have got rid of both the second Trey Lance.
That was a worst trade in the history of the fucking draft. Worst trade. All right, baby. Let's get to the Sunday games. Now we start off at Sunday, 3:00, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and your boy Todd Bowles against the Detroit Lions in that fucking unbelievable atmosphere. Like I said, I can't wait to talk about the end of the game.
Todd Bowles is a good man. I just want to say he's a good guy.
You love him. You love Mr. Bowles.
Well, he's a good guy. I want to say that. I just don't like him as a head coach.
I know, and I'm with you. And we'll get
I'm not even a huge fan of him as D coordinator because he's a little too aggressive. But he's a much better D coordinator than he is as a head coach.
I would agree. He falls under that category of he's definitely a better coordinator. Now, we're gonna get to his comments at the end of the game, and also kneecap biters comments at the end of the game as well. But this game was tight, man. It was tight all the way through. I'm going to ask you a question about Baker at the end of this thing. But what did you think about this game and how it went, and the fact that the 8-point victory for Detroit now gives them 2 fucking playoff games at home in a row that they win for the first time in 30 years they've been in the playoffs, and now they're going to an NFC Championship game before my Dallas Cowboys are going to an NFC Championship game. I can't believe it.
Well, I do want to say it's incredible that Laporta has been playing well.
Playing well.
Because he's got a fucked up knee. But I will say, I don't want to be like in the middle like a little bitch here, but I'm impressed with how Tampa Bay stuck in there. But I wasn't shocked because I was expecting the Lions to lion, if that makes sense. I'm kind of waiting for the Detroit Lions to revert back to the old Detroit Lions. And maybe that's just not going to happen. Maybe they're just for real. And I think they're a good team. I'm not saying they're a shit team, but I'm a big believer in like having that history, having that background.
Yeah.
Like the Jets will find ways to fuck things up. The Browns, the Lions. I believe I believe in like certain teams have other teams number for whatever reason. There's just like a pedigree there with good teams. There's a pedigree there with bad teams. There's a pedigree there with certain matchups. And I can't explain it. It just is what it is with the football gods. They just say poof, 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 fucking, Packers aren't going to
winning.
Packers aren't going to beat the Niners. There's just certain teams that just there's a certain
Cowboys aren't going to beat the Packers. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I was kind of expecting the Lions to choke, even though I did bet them to win. So I won that bet, by the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But I was impressed to see Tampa Bay not only fight, but fight the whole way, because Detroit played a pretty well played game. They played pretty well. Yeah. And I love Bake. How come Bake gets so much shit, dude? Bro, Bake won he wins the first playoff game in how long for Cleveland? He wins the first game in Cleveland after like 2 seasons of like no wins or whatever it was. It's like they had 1 win in the beginning of the season, then they had no wins, then they had no win season. Then Baker comes in, wins. Bud Lights for everybody.
Yep, Bud Lights for everybody.
Bud Lights go crazy. This is before everyone's banning Bud Light.
Yep.
Now today would have been Miller Light for everybody or Coors Light for everybody. And then he wins a
Corona Light for everybody.
And then he wins a playoff game. Yeah, you're right.
Playoffs.
Then he wins a playoff game, and then he gets shipped out. And then everyone says he's dead. He plays well in LA. Then he gets sent over with Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
And wins another playoff game.
And wins the job.
Tom Brady.
He won the job in the summer. They brought.
I know, and we're both big. Well, I don't know if you are anymore, but we were both big Kyle Trask fans.
We did, yeah.
And I honestly, I don't think he looked that bad in the preseason.
No, he just I think he apparently must not have it, but Baker's got the moxie. He's got the moxie.
Baker's got the juice.
He does, but
I hope he comes back.
He doesn't have the size. Right. And I think that's what ultimately gets these guys in trouble.
The size matter?
Apparently not to me, but I'll tell you, and as we see at the bottom line here, it's as you'll see, Scotty G's biceps are still bigger than Rocco B's. But here's the thing. I want to ask you this question then right now, before we get into the end of this game. Fuck it. Let's get to the end of the game first, and I'll ask you the question. Did you see what happened at the end of this game?
Which one? With the kick?
The Lions and the Buccaneers, right?
Oh, you mean not calling the timeout, and then when he's kneeling? Yeah, I know.
So okay, so you get the ball, right? Everybody knows you get a
Todd Bowles was congratulating everyone on the good season.
You don't. I mean, is this not?
We did our best. Good.
Coach, we still got a fucking timeout here. Coach, I don't want to.
Coach, it's only the third quarter.
Let's not delay the obvious.
That video was actually from the end of the third quarter. They had a whole another quarter to play. He didn't know.
Dan Campbell have his fun time here. We had a great time together in Dallas.
I think Todd Bowles been hanging out with Ron Rivera. He didn't fucking
I know, but it was also a fuck up on Dan Campbell's part. So you're kneeling the ball down. Right?
It was Jared Goff's fault. I don't even think it was Dan Campbell. Jared Goff was like,
they just didn't take the fucking time. And
we got like 2 minutes left. We might as well kneel it. Fuck the time.
They're shooting in their fucking shorts, and it's third down. With he kneels the ball down with like 36 seconds left. Now it's fourth down, and the fucking Buccaneers have a timeout. And so now it's like, well, wait a second. If the Bucs call a timeout, Detroit now has to figure out either they're going to kick the field goal, whatever they're going to do. They probably would have kicked the field goal, try to go up 11. If they miss the fucking field goal, Tampa Bay's got like 25 seconds to get down the field and score a touchdown. I know it's crazy, but hello.
It just shows how good of a coach Todd Bowles is.
I agree, but also
very aware of what's going on.
Was shooting in his shorts too at the same time, not thinking, right? But so that was crazy, right? And I hope
he was getting excited, biting his own fucking OC's kneecaps and shit. I saw his OC limp to the locker room.
Well, they had to get back to the locker room. They had a live lion that they were waiting to fucking give hugs to. But I'm telling you, I think if awesome, as Salah would have liked giving him kisses. But the fact that that hopefully the mainstream takes a little bit out on Bowles and even Campbell for the fact of this is pretty fucking egregious. Like if you think about it, like this could be, you could talk collusion here. They're good friends, Campbell and Bowles. Was this like we're just happy for the guy? Like let's just get the
I think it was just
or is it
being
pure incompetence?
being
That's,
an idiot. I think it's being an idiot. Yeah, I think it's being an idiot.
Damn, it's terrible. But
I think Bowles just expected them to do it the way it would have ran the clock out, and he was like, "All right, game's over," and he starts kind of saying goodbye to everybody, or like telling everyone, like, keep your head up. And he's at that point, he's not even looking at realizing that Jared Goff fucking kneeled like 10 seconds too early.
Crazy. I mean, crazy. But here's the big question. Okay, since you are the Baker fan, I loved him at Oklahoma. I think his pro career. He's
It's been a disappointment. No,
I don't
no
know.
doubt.
I would say it's should he have been the number one pick? Probably not. But
If he's picked in the third round, he's had an exceptional career.
Whole nother story.
Being picked in the first overall,
Yeah.
big disappointment.
Yeah. So here's the question: is Baker this year's Geno? Geno right now, Geno Smith for the Seattle Seahawks is making the 18th highest salary as a quarterback.
Good for him
in the fucking league right now. After the year that he had, right? The comeback player of the year last year, basically, Geno Smith. Baker's now, he went for a 1-year prove-it deal. He made like fucking $3,000 this year. And you're going to tell me now that he's got to get paid, right? Because of what he did, right? He took his team to a divisional playoff, won a playoff game, all that. You ready to give Baker a top 18 quarterback money, which is around $25 to $30 million a year? Are you doing it? I'm not. But go ahead.
What pick is Tampa Bay going to be, like 20 something?
They'll be 20. Yeah, somewhere between 24 and 30. 24 and 28.
You got to look at your options. I mean, if there's nothing out there, so let me say this. Listen, the Geno contract is misleading. You just read it, you say, 18. They have an out on Geno. They can get out at almost any time. So
he made the 18th most money quarterback-wise this year.
I know, but
you're going to pay him? You're going to pay him $30 million next year, even if it's a get out contract. You going to do it? You're going to keep him or go younger?
What else? What else you going to do?
You got to go younger.
Where are you going to go younger? You're going to get
you either got to
seventh best quarterback.
I'm just telling you right now. I kind of know.
I would pay Baker. I'm paying Baker.
Okay.
I'm paying Baker.
I wouldn't. Why?
I'm letting Evans walk, and I'm gonna build the rest of the team with Baker there, and then I'll let Baker fucking walk, or I'll move up to go get a top pick or a free agent quarterback, and we'll go from there.
So you're going to give him the same deal Geno got, like 3 years. You could probably get out of it whenever you want. But you got to give him top 18 money.
But first, let me clarify this. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
I'm thinking.
There's parameters here.
But first, I'm paying Baker if I can't get one of these. Like, okay, I'm paying Baker before signing Russ. I'm keeping Baker over Russ.
Okay.
Even though I think Russ would do phenomenal.
And Russ,
I'm not paying. Listen, if I'm Tampa, and this is just my opinion, I'm not paying Mike Evans. Not after what I've seen this year, and he's getting to that age. It's just not worth it. And he's gonna get big money, I think. So I'm letting Evans walk. I'm keeping Godwin. I'll probably invest in a young guy.
That kid Trey Palmer is a fucking lightning bolt.
I know. I agree. But they can go get somebody. They can go get one of these free agents or something.
Yeah, they need somebody.
But I'm not, like I said, not getting Russ. I would, however, pay a little more and go get Kirk Cousins. I would do that.
Ooh. Yeah.
Kirk Cousins there with Godwin, that defense in the draft. I would probably go get it. Look, if I'm Tampa, and this is just me, I get Cousins. I go get maybe one of these receivers, like a Calvin Ridley or somebody, like no one crazy. And then in the draft, I go maybe get one more wide receiver or tight end, and then I go all defense to reassure my defense because offense line's pretty good there.
We'll talk
about Rashad White's a fucking stud too. He doesn't get talked about enough.
Stud.
So if you get a quarterback, you revamp that wide receiver room, and then you kind of build a future for the defense that gives you enough of like a window to where if Cousins ain't the guy in another year or two, or even if Baker's not the guy, you could do the same thing with Baker, but even if Baker's not the guy in a year or two, then you go get your quarterback and you got your whole team almost blossomed around him.
So you're telling me that you flip-flopped.
Mhm.
You're telling me you'd rather go get Cousins, is what you're saying.
Well, I'd rather pay Baker than draft somebody because you're
Okay.
going to be picking too late. And I don't
Okay.
think it's worth it this year to move up because you're not a quarterback away.
Okay.
And I think if you can't get Cousins or a guy like that, I think Baker's one of my top 3 options. I think it's like Cousins. I can't even think what other quarterbacks are available right now or would be possibly available, but I think Cousins is probably going to be the hottest quarterback name that's a free agent.
Like you take Baker over Garoppolo.
Yes, 100%.
You take Baker over
He's my
Trubisky
top
or-
2 or 3 option, dude.
Yeah.
Over Trubisky, over Russ.
Gardner Minshew, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Because
Well,
you got to
so then-
remember too,
and you gotta pay him.
he's got that locker room.
Yeah, and that's fine.
So I'm
But you
either
can't-
paying him or Cousins.
You got to pay him, right? So you're gonna probably have to pay him, and then you have to figure
Yeah,
out
but you
if
pay him
Evans
30,
gone,
35 million. Get off him in 2 if you have to.
If Evans is gone, then you probably got to be in the market for either Ridley or T. Higgins, right? You got to bring in one of those dudes.
Yeah,
and
then
because
you
he
can go
needs
get a
somebody,
young guy.
right? He needs fucking somebody. But okay, I wouldn't pay him because I know what I'm going to get. And I think he's very similar to Garoppolo. I think he's very similar to a Gardner Minshew.
He's
I think
durable, though.
he's a guy that can win 9, 10 fucking games, but he's going to crap out. And in the games that you lose, like in those 6 or 7 that you lose, he's not going to look good. And people forget, how he looked, in the first game against Philadelphia this year, with a brutal defense. The Eagles still had the same defense. So, he looked brutal in the first game against Detroit, So,
Well, to be fair,
I don't think he's worth 30 million.
They do have a problem scoring touchdowns, to be fair. But I'm still his moxie and the fact of you like it's the same conversation I had with you and like Dak Prescott and stuff. It's like you only move off these guys is if you got a better option.
I'm taking Bo Nix.
And I don't think there's a whole lot of I don't even know if Bo Nix is gonna be there.
Yeah, well,
I think people are going to be shooting in their shorts for fucking QBs this year.
Bro,
I think
Penix or Nix before I'd pay big.
I'm not saying anything yet, but when we go through our draft,
we will.
This could be the buzz. This could be the most quarterbacks taken in the first round.
We could have 6 or 7 in the first round. You're right.
This is one of those years.
I'm with you. But they're going to be drafted. They're probably 25th or 26th. Dallas is 24. They're probably, one of the first 2 picks in this next round here, 25 or 26. They could still get quarterback. Absolutely. And what sucks is they wasted a second rounder on Trask, right? So that sucks if they don't think.
And who knows? What if he turns out to be all right?
Maybe, and that could be. But I just don't think Baker's worth 30 to 35 because that would put him definitely top 18.
So you think he's a backup quarterback?
I don't know, but I see him as a bottom.
Well, he's getting paid though. He's getting paid 25 to 35.
I'm saying
that's the bottom of the market.
I see him as a 24th to 32nd quarterback, and he'd be getting paid like 18. Can't do it. Not doing it. Can't do it. But that's that, and we'll get into that. I can't wait to get in the offseason. It's gonna be so fucking exciting. So many quarterbacks, so much. In free agency. Can't fucking wait. Let's get off this game and let's get to the last game of the playoffs, the divisional round. Kansas City and Buffalo all lined up for the Buffalo Bills. Finally, you're at home. Finally, you get Kansas City without the firepower. Finally, you get the cold and the freezing Buffalo temperatures, and you come off an easy victory against Pittsburgh. And Kansas City, Kelsey's dropping everything. They can't protect Mahomes. The defense is the best they've had probably since Mahomes, but you can handle that. You're the fucking Buffalo. You got Josh Allen with the fucking big swinging dick. Buffalo should have lost this game, Scotty, by I'd say 10 or 13. I mean, minimum. The way that this game went, they ended up losing by the field goal. Everyone blames Tyler Bass. I'm going to get into why
Buffalo should have won this game by 10 or 14, but I don't know. They let it slip by the third quarter. They dominate the whole first half.
No, they did. They did. But I'll tell you, when you let Mahomes hang out, you let him hang around.
He is.
Wait.
I got a question, and I'm not going to wait to the end because I got to ask it.
Okay.
If Mahomes gets it done this year, And honestly, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Yep.
Even though I would if he went, I would bet Baltimore. I would bet Niners. I think he probably beats Detroit. Sorry,
Yes.
Detroit.
Yes.
So I would bet the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. But I also wouldn't be like flabbergasted if he beat either team because he's that good.
I agree.
If he does, though, somehow, some way.
Yep.
Are you afraid this motherfucker can catch Brady? He'll be 3 Super Bowls at the same age that Tom Brady went, with 2 more MVPs than Tom Brady had.
Yeah.
And literally, I think it's more wins. It's like more almost everything than Tom Brady had at this age. And here's the thing that people don't realize. All the Tom Brady lovers, and I respect Tom Brady. I don't like the motherfucker.
Oh, boy.
From 2005, I think it was, to 2015. For those who are not great at math, that's 10 years. The New England Patriots won 0 Super Bowls.
Yeah. I know.
0. People don't remember that.
Yeah.
And then the next Super Bowl, Super Bowl they won, Brock. Next Super Bowl they won was the Seattle one. They should have won that one.
Yeah.
The one after that was the Atlanta one, I think. Or maybe it was Philly and then Atlanta. But either way, they literally could have been done easily. Yeah. And even if okay, you say they could have been, they weren't. They won those games. Yep. Either way, if Mahomes
beat the Rams.
Either way, though, even if Mahomes wins this year, he's got a 10-year window to get a leg up on Brady.
All right. Well, here's why I say no, and I'm going to ask you a question. What did Tom Brady have for at least 6 of the championships?
Giselle?
I don't. Oh man, if he had Giselle earlier, I don't think he would have had 6.
Kids that he didn't take care of. I don't know.
I'm looking down at my
balls. Did he have balls?
My minuscule ones right here, but he had big balls. He had big balls for 6 of the fucking rings. He had big balls for what? 19 years? I mean, so the reason why I say
big balls is Belichick for those who don't know.
Yeah, yes. Big balls belly, you're going to fucking get used to it around here. Okay, that's his nickname. He had Belichick for all of that, right? So,
yeah.
I don't think Mahomes is going to have Andy Reid. And I think
I think he's going to have Andy Reid for at least another 3 to 5 years.
Brother, I'm going to tell you right now, this may be a hot take. I think if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, Andy Reid's retiring.
I think
this is it. I think this is it.
No fucking way.
You know, I personally.
How old is Andy Reid? I'm gonna look this up right now.
Yeah, look it up. He's late 60s, maybe if not 70. I really think you're gonna see him retire if they win a championship. And then there goes Mahomes, in my opinion.
65. No fucking 65.
Way. He looks 70. I mean, Belichick looks younger than he is, and Belichick's 70.
Dude, so what is Andy Reid gonna do when he retires?
I know, but he does.
I don't mean to be an asshole, but he doesn't. I mean, his kids are all fucked up. He's got one kid
he'd be great on TV. He'd be great on TV. Reid would be fantastic on TV. He's doing those commercials now, which he's great at.
There's no way. Reid's got nothing else to do.
They're not gonna stick around. And then if you want to really fucking throw the icing on the cake, if you got, say, like, let's just say Andy Reid stays for 3 fucking years, he doesn't have Travis Kelce. Okay.
No, so I think Kelsey's got 2 to 3 in him too.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think this is the year, Scotty, that I think this could be their swan song if they can do it. Because I can see Kelce retiring at the same time.
I was just talking about this with my pops. I don't think so. So the reason why I don't think both Kelce retire the same year is because I don't think they want to steal the thunder away from each other. You think Travis Kelce wants to share the spotlight? And I don't mean that in a way like they're both jealous of each other. I mean, like, I think they love each other to the fact where Travis is going to be like, I want Jason to have his moment. And Jason will be like, I want Travis to have his moment.
It could be, I don't want to play without him. It could be, I don't want to have something that he don't, you know? And
that's the dumbest shit I ever heard.
Look at yesterday. Jason Kelce couldn't stay out of the spotlight. He had to go to the fucking game, take his fucking shirt off,
Oh, he
and
was,
be the absolute like look
was
at me, the
trashed.
star of the show.
He was
right?
drunk.
So it's they're all like that. They got the podcast. They're all getting ready to be famous. Blah 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 blah. I think they're setting it up because they know the time is near. And if Mahomes don't have Kelsey, and God forbid Mahomes don't have fucking Andy Reid, it's over. It is over. I'm telling you, I love Mahomes.
I don't know. I think he can still
he's
get
a
it done.
special talent. I just think that he is such a and again, we'll get into a prove me wrong segment at some point over the next couple shows, but he'd have to prove me wrong. Go prove me wrong, Mahomes, and win a championship without Reid, Kelsey, or even both of them. I just don't see it. I think he's a product of that system, and I think he's fantastic. He's the most fantastic quarterback that could ever play in that system. But if you take him out of that system with that prolific tight end out of there, I don't know. So no, I'll take Tom Brady and his 7 rings for a long time. And
are you? I hate that take. I hate that take on people. I hear people on the radio and stuff say that all the time. Oh, they're in the system. Tom Brady was the system. All blah, blah, system. Bro, we all agree.
Mhm.
Peyton Manning's a smart guy, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
he went to
Aaron. We're talking about football. Just talk about.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is a smart guy. Tom Brady's a smart guy.
Okay.
You think Patrick Mahomes is a smart guy? Seems to be football wise.
Seems to be, yeah.
So take Patrick Mahomes out of it because he hasn't had to do it yet.
Yep.
Do you know what Peyton, Tom, and Rodgers have done when they went somewhere else? They took the fucking system with them. Our system is Aaron Rodgers' system. Peyton Manning took his system to Denver. Tampa Bay, first half of the season, they're dog shit. Second half, Tom Brady says, we're doing what I did.
Are we sure?
You're telling me Mahomes can't do that?
Ladies and gentlemen, are we sure that losing Eric Bieniemy wasn't such a big deal? Are we sure that he can transfer all of those stats?
They just beat the Bills
with
pretty
literally six or 7 starters out. I mean, and a field goal kicker who doesn't get on the right hash. I'm with you. I think again that'll be in a prove me wrong segment later on down the road if we figure out that either Andy Reid or Travis Kelce or even fucking both of them aren't on the team anymore. He'd have to.
I think Travis retires before Andy Reid. I'm just going to say that right now.
Okay. But let me just get back to real quick the way Buffalo lost this game. Okay. It's easy to blame the kicker, and I get it. If he makes his field goal, they go to overtime. Bada boop, bada beep. We don't know what the rest of the game looks like. I'm blaming this on coaching right now. I'm going to tell you what. So
coaching.
If you've watched Buffalo Bills games over the course of Tyler Bass's career, okay, where does he kick extra points from?
You know what? You know what, Rock? I hate to say this, but I haven't really studied Tyler fucking Bass's career and where he takes kicks.
I understand you're too busy, looking at the anytime touchdown odds for the next guy. I get it. Here's what's going on. When Tyler Bass and the Buffalo Bills kick extra points, Tyler Bass doesn't line up on the right hash. He doesn't line up in the fucking middle. They put the ball on the left hash. You know why? Because the guy's got a fucking fade for a leg. He goes left to right. Okay. That's his preferred way of kicking. To the point where an earlier game, a couple weeks ago, I forget who it was. Maybe it was, I'm trying to think. They were at home and they were ready to kick the game winner at the end of the game. And what they did was they did the little kneel play, but they had Josh Allen move over to the left side to put it on the left hash. Okay. And boom, Bass hits and they win the game. Let me go back to second down in that last drive. That's the play everyone's talking about where Josh Allen misses the touchdown pass to Shakir that looked identical to the throw he throws to Gabe Davis over the middle when they almost beat Kansas City 2 years ago in Arrowhead, right? Boom. Same right down the fucking middle in the middle of 3 guys, and he put it right there. This time, Deion Dawkins gets blown up all the way back into Josh Allen. He can't get anything on it, which I'm shocked because Allen should have enough arm strength to get it there. He fucking sinks it right into the dirt, right? So now you got third down. What's the play call on third down? No, not a let's load up the left side with Diggs and all of our other guys to maybe get either a first down or to get yardage to kick our fucking tying field goal on the left hash. What's the play call? They load the right side of the field, and Josh Allen rolls to the right and throws the ball out of bounds. 3rd and 9. Now,
I think he threw it in the end zone. They just didn't catch it.
Where in those two plays?
I mean, I get you. The play calling was bad. But let me ask you this: the plays before that. So, Dr. Tomas Palazzo, we're all asking me about
1 yard.
We're all asking me who my top 5s are, and I said, Josh Allen. I didn't have him in my top 5 last year. I really didn't. I think now he's officially like my number 4, maybe my number 3. But realistically, the reason why I didn't have him top 5 last year, the reason why he's still not number 1 or number 2, or even, possibly not even 3, is because Josh Allen does bonehead shit all the time. And I've been noticing it as a Jet fan my entire Josh Allen watching career here. What has it been, 6-7 years here? Yeah. He's been playing?
Yep. His
entire career I've been watching. He always makes dumbass fucking plays. Now, the game should have been over if Joe Douglas doesn't, ship Mecole Hardman off to the fucking Kansas City. Oh, God.
I'm looking at this game, and I'm like, you got on one hand, fucking Buffalo's got Ty Johnson, who's absolutely killing it, right? He's doing everything that the Bills want when James Cook's off the field, and the Jets, of course, couldn't do anything with him. And then, but on the other end, you got the Jets who bring in Mecole Hardman for $5 million.
I thought it was going to be great.
Don't even suit him up.
They sent him back to Kansas City. I sent him back. Dude,
he can't even have his old number because Richie James has got 17.
I was so upset. I was so upset about it. And I remember being like, oh, Kansas City's going to turn this guy into a Hall of Famer probably. This guy gets 2 carries yesterday. Both of them were fumbles. Unreal. Right? One of them ends up back in the hands of Buffalo from a fumbling out of the end zone.
Which we're going to get into that. I think the rule is okay. Everyone.
I hate the rule, but it doesn't matter. It is the rule.
We're going to go.
Anyway, it goes. It should have been over there, but they get a chance. And then what does Josh Allen do with that second chance? You get a second chance at life. You get a second chance. Second chance at glory. You fumbled the fucking ball, dude. That ball should have. It literally fumbles the ball. It should have been Kansas City. The fat bastard that jumped on it, it squirts out. Squirts out of his ass, and then it falls right back into Buffalo's hands.
I know it did.
And then everyone's like, "Well, Diggs caught it." Well, I guess it would have been a closer field goal, so I guess I can say but it wasn't too far off where they got the ball anyway. So then there's 2 minutes, minute and a half or whatever on the clock. I think it's 2 minutes on the clock. First down. All right, you take a shot. I appreciate it. No problem. You don't get it. The next step, and maybe this is coaching, but I'm still going to go fucking Josh Allen on this. The next 2 plays, you got to think, yes, I want a touchdown, but I also got to give the ball to my stars or to somebody on my team so that they can maybe make a play, because we got to get this clock going. Because if we don't get a touchdown here, we not only got to get a field goal, we cannot give Mahomes more than 30 seconds on this fucking clock.
And that's the coaching. Is
it because the coaching called a play where Diggs and some other jerk off are wide open underneath.
Yes.
And this jerk off's looking downfield.
He missed Diggs. That was second down, right? So they get a yard on first down, and which is now you're on the right hash, right? So you're on the right hash.
Third down, there was an underneath as well inside.
So it was an in route. Second down, So the in route on the left side, right? But he was already rolling right. But again, I think that was the play call, was to look right as your first read, right? The second one, he was going for a touchdown. Second down, he's going for a touchdown. I get that.
Why?
But second down. Second down, he was going for the end zone. That's fine. Third down, he had the
second and third. You should have went for fucking.
He should have looked. Third down, they should have had something where go to the left side of the field automatically. but they didn't. So now you got Tyler Bass, who hates the fucking right hash because he does not know how to.
Bro, 44-yard
straight.
field goals, not like a gimme.
I know, but you're talking in that weather with a little bit of a swirling wind.
With a
and
minute 36 on the clock.
Already, and everyone's saying, oh my God, that's the thing. That's why you can't blame the kicker either, because even if he kicks the field goal, you still probably lose, right? So, but it's all coaching.
Well, no,
right?
it would have went to overtime, and I'll tell you why it would have went to overtime, because they would have played conservative, because they would have said, okay, we can't turn the ball over. Let's run, and little short dunk passes. They would have played for the field goal. You think Mahomes and Andy Reid were scared to go to overtime with Josh Allen? Which, by the way, Josh Allen, you dumb shit. They changed the offense. They changed the overtime rules for you. So you should have been like, let's go to the overtime. It's in our favor now.
Yeah. It was terrible. I mean, honestly, not having that ball on the left hash was the big thing. At least they tied.
I would have ran some clock out. You should have dumped it.
I'm with you. I'm with you. The fact that they don't.
I would have rather Josh Allen. I would have rather Josh Allen ran the ball on third down.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Yes, exactly. You put the ball in your guy's hands. Run him to the left. Run him to the fucking left hash.
He probably would have got first down, but if he didn't, he would have got 4 or 5 yards, and it would have been a 39-yard field goal instead of a 44 on the hash he likes.
Yeah. Yes.
And then one last
coaching.
One last, I don't know if it is. That sounds like
fake
Josh
punt
Allen
was terrible. Fuck.
Well, I was just gonna say my last other thing was the fake punt. I heard. Did you hear what they said afterwards?
They wanted to catch him by surprise or whatever.
No. The coach didn't call it.
They called it on the field.
Fuck. How the fuck do you give them power to do that in a playoff game?
Yeah, no. You either punt that thing or you go for it. You either put Josh Allen on the field,
exactly.
Or you punt it.
Damar Hamlin, and then this poor bastard almost died because a guy hit him when he was making the hit, and then you give him the ball to be a target out there. This poor son of a bitch. I thought his heart was gonna stop just catching the ball. I was scared shitless for the guy.
God.
I was like, please, not Damar.
Oh my God. So yeah, I mean, brutal call, and but amazingly, 2 plays later, Hardman gives it right back to him. But here's a question for you, Scotty. At the end of this game, what's Buffalo's plan now with the loss to Mahomes at home to KC? What do you think they do? What do you think they do? Do you think they run it back like Dallas, or do you think there's going to be some changes?
I've been saying for 2, maybe 3 weeks now that I think they fire McDermott. But a lot of insiders are saying that's not going to happen. I think they should fire McDermott. And I hate saying this because my team sucks. And somehow we keep our coach, and I wanted him gone, but somehow we keep our coach. But I don't know why I'm calling for all these coaches to be fired when they're winning. But I think something needs to be said about when you're winning and you can't get over certain humps. Now, I know the grass is not always greener. I get that. I get that. I understand that. And I don't think Schottenheimer should have been fired. But to be consistent, I guess he should have been.
Well, if you remember back then, it was they fired him after 14-2. They lost in the divisional round, their first game in the playoffs, right?
But yeah, I get it. And I was shocked.
They go to a championship game.
I guess you're right. Because I was shocked they fired Marty at that time. But that team was one of the best teams in the league for like 4 years in a row, and they couldn't win a playoff game.
There was something there, and you get another coach, and they go to a championship game finally. So, I think there is. I
think for me though, the McDermott thing, it's like the 9/11 thing. Like, bro, you're nuts. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
There's 2 sides of McDermott, right? You got the one side that he coached the shit out of this fucking team with all these injuries, the fact that they really didn't have any big pieces on offense, and they didn't get. And you got to remember, half the season they were fucking coordinated by Ken Dorsey. Right?
You know what? He coached that team as well as the terrorists took over that plane in Newark, and he did a hell of a job.
I don't know what the fuck he was thinking with that. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Probably one of the worst analogies.
The worst
I've ever heard in my life.
The Holocaust. Like, what are you
in my life?
Fuck. What are you doing? But
you think Hitler? You think he gave up after his first million Jews?
That we're fucking 6 and 7 and we're like a long shot to make the playoffs. Do you really think that that's how the Nazi regime felt when they felt like Hitler couldn't do it? And we like, huh?
Napoleon didn't stop after he raped and pillaged his first 100,000 people. You killing me? You kidding me?
9/11, my God. So you got that good side of it. The bad side is this guy can't beat Kansas City, and he can't do it with, like we kept talking about these past couple of years. You got a window. You got a window that you have to fucking.
I don't want to go into it today because this is probably a whole nother long conversation. But we got to talk about what the Bills are going to do. Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you this. I took a peek at it before we got on here. They're going to be $43 million under the cap. They're fucked. Like, the only way for them to get some cap room.
You mean 43 million over the cap?
Yeah, sorry, over the cap. Sorry. Yeah. Mm-hmm. $43 million over the cap. The only way for them to get some cap room is going to be restructure Josh Allen, cut loose Von Miller, who's going through legal trouble. They're probably gonna do that anyway. He might do him a favor and retire. And the other thing is, which Bills fans are gonna hate, cut loose Diggs. You got to trade Diggs. You got to trade Diggs, cut loose your veteran pass rusher, restructure your quarterback, and then probably get rid of a bunch of special teamers. That's not going to help your team. And then I like just a quick analysis on it. It was like only like 20 million open, like available. Like what are you going to get with that?
Yeah, we'll see. They're going to have to draft their balls off. But I'll tell you, I would make a move. I would make a move for sure. And
you got to get Diggs out of there. He's a piece of shit.
And honestly, man,
no offense, Diggs, but you are.
If I'm gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna make a splash, this is it. I mean, I think if you go get big ball.
So I lost my train of thought, but I was gonna say is about 3-4 weeks ago we've been talking about it. I said my biggest fear is McDermott gets fired and Bill goes to Buffalo because I think that's his best fit.
Yeah,
and I know now Rex Ryan's saying it and a bunch of people are saying it, but
we've been saying it before.
We've been saying it.
Yeah.
And I just hope we don't speak it into existence. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I'll tell you, that's why maybe Big Balls has been waiting on Atlanta because I think he was waiting on potentially Dallas. And now if Buffalo or even Philly opens up, and I don't think Philly's opening up either.
I hope to God he goes to Atlanta.
He's got some options, right?
But
we're going to see. But Scotty boy, I thought this was great. It was a great weekend of football. I'll tell you that.
I got can I just real nothing really to talk about. Can I just throw in some news because it's going to be old by the next time we speak?
Sure.
All right, a couple things here. First off, your boy Sirianni expected to be back, and they're interviewing Ron Rivera to be their defense coordinator
on defense.
Sirianni expected to be. Shane Waldron, I guess he's the former Seahawks OC.
Yep,
was hired as the Bears OC. So I think
they're not going with
they're not going Kingsbury. And I think maybe my take might have been right on they just wanted to get some analysis on Caleb, or maybe they just said they wanted to go a different direction. I don't know.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on. Let's not fucking go start sucking each other's dicks just yet. Are you telling me that we just talked about it on the last show about what you believe the whole Kingsbury thing was about, right?
Yeah.
And I said, well, then it's got to be a shoe-in for potentially Caleb Williams, and you said it could be potentially to get some intel. This could be the third option. Now that they're not going for Kingsbury, did they get the intel? And if they, let's just say they didn't, by hiring Shane Waldron, what does that tell you? Does that tell you we don't want?
I was going to say I don't think you can rule out Caleb Williams yet. I don't think Caleb Williams wants to go there.
We've been hearing the chirp, and he doesn't want to go.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to go there. So I could see him going somewhere else. I think they would trade that pick. So you would think
that's
probably
the logical thing. Yeah.
Probably either I mean, they're not going to go far because they want a quarterback. So either New England or who's the second pick? Washington?
Second is Washington. Yeah.
Now, what they could do is they could do an old Eli Manning swap-a-rooney, and they could draft Caleb and then say, hey, I don't know, Jason Daniels or Drake May, whoever's there at 3, New England, take them and we'll swap. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Are we leaving
Because I
out of
just
the realm that
Go ahead.
Justin Fields is still there?
Justin Fields?
Yeah, I mean, is there any possibility
I don't think so.
that the reason
I don't
why
think
they
so.
hired this guy is to get Justin Fields?
I do not think so. Now I could be wrong, but I don't. Think so.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get into this because now why didn't you get Kingsbury? It doesn't make any sense to me. If you bring him in,
Maybe they shouldn't like his interview though.
I don't.
It'll be as simple as that.
It screams to me that it's more about, well, why would we take Kingsbury if we know Caleb ain't going to play for us, right? So, I'd be hard pressed to believe that Caleb Williams is going to be a fucking Chicago Bear.
I'm with you on that. I'm with you, but I don't think we can jump yet.
Yeah,
I need some more information.
All right, give me some more.
Tom Telesco, former Chargers GM, he was let go with jerk-off Brandon Staley.
Yep.
He's been interviewing with the Raiders.
Oh.
So in division, I don't think it's a great move for the Raiders, but I mean they do have a good team in Los Angeles, but they haven't done shit. So I don't know. It could be a good idea, it could not be a good idea, but Raiders are looking to bring him in.
He knows the division. I would wonder his connections with the coaches that are out there. So, as we all know, now it's Antonio Pierce's gig,
which could be bad for the Jets. I don't know if Devontae's going to want to leave now.
Well, it's weird, man. It's weird that you'd hire a coach before you hire the GM, but be that as it may, Telesco did a great job for the most part with the Chargers. But they were pretty hamstrung with who they hired as the head coach usually, and that wasn't his fault. So
didn't he hire the head coach?
I'm saying you need the owner's blessing to get the coach. So they didn't want to pay anybody.
And then last thing is the Cleveland Browns and the New York Jets have been interviewing Deuce Staley to be a running backs coach. I like this move. I know we spoke about it earlier. I think we also said clearly it was probably the guy that was not putting enough creamer or sugar in the coffee. That's probably the reason why the Jets fucked up. Not the GM, not the head coach.
Well, he's gone now.
Definitely
so
the intern that they
guy,
probably fired.
The creamer guy is gone. I believe one of the ushers for Section 316 has been fired as well.
I heard the cleaning lady that comes on Tuesdays. She fucked a bunch of things up.
Yeah,
so I think
popcorn all over the place.
Yeah. So I think
like that.
I think a lot of that was the reason they lost. Not Zach Wilson, not Robert Saleh kissing everybody in the league.
No, not Nathaniel Hackett. Definitely not.
Joe Douglas drafting Mekhi Becton. Nothing to do with that.
Yeah. No, he's It was all these guys, especially the fucking.
But I do like Staley. I like Staley. I want to say that.
Hell of a running back at while he was with Philly. He played a little bit with the Steelers, but then he coached for Philly for like 11 years, and then he was with Carolina. So but now he's been, like you said, he was fired when Frank Reich got fired. He'll be somewhere. I would love to coach me some Breece Hall. So if I'm him, I'm taking the Jets job. And that would be phenomenal for you guys. And some guy to also come in to develop fucking Anaconda.
Yeah, and now I forget. Now I remember very vividly Deuce Staley, but was he pass catching running back? I can't remember.
Not really. I mean, not really, because back in the day, I mean, they didn't do a ton of that either.
I know it wasn't a lot. I know.
Yeah. No, but he was a smaller dude. But he ran with power because he was a little bigger bone guy.
I think Westbrook was more the catch guy.
Yes, and then Westbrook came in and they were a nice little 1-2 punch.
It's crazy to think back in the day. It was like Westbrook, Sproles. There was literally like 3 or 4 guys. That was it.
Yeah.
Now it's like you can't run a team without that.
I know. Like you remember another guy.
That's why LaDainian was so good.
Oh. Another reason why the Jets really didn't go to the Super Bowl at all, because they let go Danny Woodhead. They had him in the building and they let him go. Yeah. And then for 10 years he fucking tortured him with the Patriots and Chargers.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I like that move if they go get him. And I'm rooting for my boy Chubby. I want Chubby to come back. to Cleveland, and Staley could potentially coach Chubby with Cleveland. So we'll see.
That's all I got today.
All right, baby.
I got some other things I want to go over, but we'll hit that next show.
Okay. Next show, what do you really think you want to hit next show? Because I'm telling you, I'm chomping at the fucking bit for the draft stuff and for the off-season moves and all that.
I mean, we could do an early look if you want. I mean, it's definitely way too early, but we could do a quick look, just get a kind of an idea what's out there. I got some cow turd shit that I want to address.
Okay.
This idiot likes to I don't like Colin Cowherd, but he likes to talk his shit. So I got some things on that I want to address.
Okay.
And obviously, probably the coaching carousel. I'm hoping some things develop this week.
Okay. Well, we did, if you remember, with our divisional picks, we did go 3-1. 3-1. We lost on that last game with Buffalo. We took all the favorites. And
no. So, hey, I'm third. I think I told you earlier. I'm 31-21. I can't get off of the 10-game lead for some reason. Every time I win one, I lose one recently. So, but 31-21 ain't bad for the season.
We'll see. We're gonna really dive into. Let's dive into the previews of the games. You know, the two big games, championship games this weekend, and let's catch some news also during the week, and we'll figure out a great way to attack this week. And what sucks is, Scotty, we got 3 games left in the whole season.
I know.
3 games. You know, I can't believe we're here already.
I know, but as I told my dad today, March through August, that's the Jets' time to shine, baby.
Oh, baby, that's Jets and Cowboys fucking.
That's when the Jets season starts. Our season starts in March and it ends in August, mid-September sometimes.
Oh my God! But all right, baby. Well, then guess what? That'll do it for us then, right here, for our show.
Long one today, but we got some.
We did a long one, but you know, it was very good, and we got the rest of the week going. So, so we'll see you guys very soon. We're gonna try to hit something every day, content every day coming out on the channel, and we want your feedback on what you guys want to see, what you want to hear, all that. But for now, this is Rocco B. I'm signing off for Scotty G. This is fucking Naked Bootleg.
Adios.